Hello and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, when it comes to buying property on the island of Sardinia, it conjures up images of very expensive places on the Costa Smeralda. For example, Portocervo, where property prices can easily reach 10,000 euros per square meter. However, in today's video, I want to show you 5 lovely places on the island of Sardinia where property is far cheaper. Now, before I start, I just want to give a shout out to a few places that didn't quite make it. Now, much as I like Alghero, I thought with property prices above 2,800 euros per square meter on average, it was just that bit too expensive. The same can also be said for Pula, and Olbia is quite expensive as well at over 3,100 euros per square meter on average. And although many places were much cheaper, I thought either that they were just not attractive enough to buy in or just that little bit too remote. Now, before I start and give you my top 5, please let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree and why. So coming in at number 5 is the city of Oristano. Now, located in the central western part of Sardinia and with a population of around 32,000, Oristano is a much undervalued city. It has a long, rich history and it shows with the many lovely churches from different periods in history. There is also an important museum with medieval artifacts and earlier relics as well, plus an art gallery with collections of important Sardinian paintings and a couple of towers too. There are events held here every year, but the one you should not miss is Sa Sartiglia, an equestrian tournament held in Oristano for the past 500 years on Carnival Sunday and Mardi Gras. And there are no shortage of shops and cafes, especially in Piazza Roma. Of course, we should not forget the wonderful beaches in and around Oristano. Now, for those of you who do not like too many tourists, Oristano could just be a good place for you. And transport-wise, the city has a train station with connections to Olbia, Cagliari and Sassari. And the nearest airports are Cagliari and Alghero. However, both airports are over 80 kilometers away. Now, this may put some people off buying, but nevertheless, I think with average property prices at only around 1,300 euros per square meter on average, this represents good value for money, especially when you consider this is a Sardinian coastal city. Now, coming in at number 4 is Cagliari. Now, with a population of over 150,000, Cagliari is the capital and the most populous city in Sardinia. Cagliari has a lot to offer and is a fantastic place to live year-round. In Cagliari, there are many museums and galleries worth visiting, numerous beautiful churches, palaces and other ornate buildings, an amphitheatre as well, dating back to the 2nd century, and many other noteworthy monuments. Cagliari also has a lot of parks and is actually one of the greenest cities in Italy. Now, there are, of course, festivals here, the food is great, and we mustn't forget the beaches, of course, as well. Cagliari has the largest public university in Sardinia, and sports-wise, it has the most facilities on the island. Now, Cagliari Football Club currently plays in the 2nd division of Italian football, but for many years they have played in the top division and even won the title in 1970 with Gigi Riva. And the current manager is Claudio Ranieri. Cagliari has a good public transportation system as well. It's got its own port and, more importantly, its own airport with flights to many European destinations including London, Paris, Porto, Madrid, Brussels, Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Warsaw, Budapest and many, many more. Now, it also flies direct to Dubai as well. Now, although property prices are not that cheap, we have to say, at an average of 2,400 euros per square meter on average, considering Cagliari has so much to offer and it is the capital of Sardinia, I actually think property prices are not that expensive for the capital of a region and an absolutely beautiful region of Italy. Now, coming in at number 3 is Castelsardo. Now, located on the north coast of Sardinia and with a population of around 6,000, Castelsardo is a wonderful place. It is described by many as a jewel set in the rock. From here, you can enjoy a unique panorama spanning the coasts of the Gulf, including Corsica. Now, Castelsardo is steeped in history, which actually dates back to prehistoric times. And Castelsardo is probably best known for its castle, but many would say that the churches are the most impressive part of Castelsardo, with the town hall and the palaces not far behind. Of course, in and around Castelsardo there are some excellent beaches, so you have the unique combination of a pretty small town and lovely beaches as well. Now, considering the Costa Smeralda, Portocervo are not a million miles away, I think property prices here at around 1,850 euros per square metre on average are quite reasonable. Although I will have to say they're not very cheap. Now, the nearest airport is Alghero Airport, about 47 kilometres away, with Olbia about 67 kilometres away. Now, there is a shuttle bus from Alghero to Castelsardo, but this only happens in the summer months. Now, coming in at number 2 is Sassari. Now, situated in the northwest of Sardinia and with a population of around 127,000, Sassari is a city not much talked about, but I think this is unfair. Firstly, it is Sardinia's second largest city, and it really has a lot to offer. It has the oldest university in Sardinia with a good reputation in many faculties. It has an excellent basketball team, a very good women's football team, and there are rugby, handball and baseball teams as well. Now, there are festivals here as well, but what really is good about Sassari are that there are a number of noteworthy museums, some lovely churches, an opera and theatre for concerts and plays. And Sassari has a couple of beautiful squares, and right in the centre you can find the city's public gardens, which are nearly 3,000 square metres wide. And the city's symbol is the Fontana di Rossello, which is a beautiful fountain built at the start of the 17th century. Now, Sassari is about 10 kilometres from the coast, so the beaches are never too far away, although of course there are no beaches in the city. Now, given all these advantages, I think Sassari real estate prices are excellent value for money at only 1,250 euros per square metre on average. Now, although Sassari does not have its own airport, Alghero Airport is only about 30 kilometres away. And if you think about it, Alghero property prices are actually over double those of Sassari. So I think that actually puts Sassari in a good light when it comes to buying property. Now, coming in at number 1, and this may surprise you, is Bosa. Now, situated on the northwest coast of Sardinia and with a population of around 8,000, Bosa is considered to be one of the most beautiful small towns in Italy. It is rich in history and there are numerous lovely churches and colourful buildings. Now, there's a lovely hilltop castle and a river flowing through as well. Now, for a relatively small town, there are many, as I said, amazing churches and also a couple of museums worth a visit as well. Now, in many ways, for its size, Bosa punches way above its weight, as there are some very good festivals here as well to keep you entertained, especially Carnevale. Now, there are good eateries and many bars in the town as well. And of course, being a coastal town, there are some good beaches too. Now, quite honestly, Bosa has a magical atmosphere and the old town is lovely. And given all of this, I think that property prices at around 1,250 euros per square meter on average are really, really good value. And the nearest airport to Bosa is Alghero, which is about 55 kilometers away. Now, although there are a few buses which go daily from the airport to Bosa, they do take around 90 minutes. And it is obviously far more convenient to have your own car. And I think this could be the one drawback of Bosa. But as I've said, there are a few daily buses which get you to and from the airport. Now, I think Bosa, as you can see, I think from the video here, is an absolutely wonderful place. And I think very few people outside of Italy have heard of this place. So that's why I think I've put it in as the #1 place to buy property on the island of Sardinia. You're going to get amazing value for money and live in a great place. But before I end the video, as I've said, I actually really want to know your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree with me, and why? And which cities, towns, or even small villages would you have put in the top 5 instead? Anyway, that's it for today. As ever, thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you soon on the next video.